Hey, welcome to InfoGamer. Today we're doing part 2 of coding a shot. So in a previous video we showed you how to draw the bullet, and we also showed you how to code the movement of the bullet so that when it's in the game it'll fly upwards. In this video we're going to show you how to make it so that when you click on the screen it shoots the bullet from your Doodle Jump character. Yeah, let's get started. We're going to start off by creating an empty game object. So go up to game object, create empty. Let's rename this shot spawn. We want the shot spawn to follow our character so it looks like our bullets are shooting from the character. So let's drag and make it a child of our box dude. Once you've done that, we need to position the spawn to be somewhere above our character. And we can adjust this later when we put in an animation. Now let's go to our game controller script. Alright, we're going to create some variables up here at the top. So we remember what these variables do. Let's leave a little note. Shot spawn. Because that's what these are for. And we're going to need a public float fire rate, a private float next fire. And the reason why this variable is private is because we aren't going to need to edit it in our inspector window. The next variable we're going to create is going to be so that we can access our shot prefab in our prefabs folder. So public game object shot. Our next variable is going to be so we can access the transform of our shot spawn and be able to instantiate our prefab shot into our transform. So public transform shot spawn. Now let's go to the bottom of our code and create a new function. So we'll say public void, and then we'll call it shooting function, and then add parentheses. And then curly braces. So inside this function, we're going to have an if statement that's going to say if input.getButton, and then parentheses, and in quotes, we're going to put fire1. Then we're going to AND it to another condition, which is time.time is greater than next fire. So that double AND is going to be checking both statements to see if they're true before what's in the if statement will run. So if one of them's true and the other is false, then what's inside this if statement won't work. Now the conditions of this if statement, the first one where it says input.getButton fire1, this checks to see whether we have clicked our mouse. And if that's true, then we also check whether the current time is greater than our next fire variable that we've created. Okay, next, what's going to be in our if statement, this line of code is going to be next fire, our variable, equals time.time plus our fire rate. So to explain this line of code easily, say our game time is 30 seconds. So it's going to put 30 seconds in here, and then it's going to add our fire rate. Let's say is 5 seconds. And so it will be 35 seconds will be our next fire. So the next time this goes around in our if statement, next fire is going to equal 35 seconds. So this if statement is not going to be true until the game time is going to be greater than 35 seconds. And that's how that line of code's working. All right, so our next line of code is, this is where we're going to instantiate the shot and its position and rotation. So instantiate parentheses, and in the parentheses is going to be our shot prefab, our shot variable that's all the way up at the top, which is our game object. and then shot spawn dot position, comma shot spawn dot rotation. And this is grabbing our transform for shot spawn, which is what we up here in our variables. This is what we called the transform of shot spawn. And so when we do shot spawn dot position, it's grabbing that transform, the position and the rotation transform of shot spawn. Okay, I think we're ready to go back to Unity to match up our shot spawn and our shot prefab. Let's save, Control S.
So we need to select our game controller object, and then down where we created our variables, we need to drag in the corresponding values or objects. So we'll go to our prefabs folder and find our shot prefab and drag it into the game object variable shot. And then our shot spawn, that will be from the hierarchy where we created our empty game object. And then we'll need to set the value of our fire rate. Make sure that's set to something that's good. Let's give it a try. Oops. We missed something. What did we miss? We need to call our function in the update. So go up to the top, find our update function, and then just type in our shot function.
Save it again. Go back to Unity and let's hit play.
And there you have it.
We are now shooting our bullets, and a lot of bullets are spawning on the screen and they're not being deleted. So in our next video, we'll set up a delete zone. And then in another video, we're going to add an animation to our shooting and change the directions of our shot. Now remember, you can practice with different fire rates just by coming over here and changing the fire rate to whatever you want. But the smaller the number, the less time will need to go by before you can fire again. So if we set this to a really small number like 0.001, we'll have a really fast shot. Woo-wee!
Machine gun.
Machine gun. Okay, and now look at our shot clones. Oh, what are those doing? I think they collided with each other. They were shooting so fast. That's why they were
bouncing back.
Well, anyways, I'm probably gonna break my computer with how many shot clones I'm creating here, but it's fun. It's all in the name of fun.
Hey, thanks for watching this video where we showed you how to spawn a bullet into the game. We hope it works for you, and we hope you learned a lot.
This is part 2 of Coding a Shot, and we'll be doing part 3 really soon. So subscribe and stay with us and learn how to make your own games.